looking at some of the metrics, I mean, and charts, it's fantastic. Here's a new indicator I'm not too familiar with, SDM, supply demand momentum. And we had two, based on this, we have two buy signals back to back, or up signals. And we haven't, if you look back, we never had two up signals. So I guess that means we're ultra bullish at this point, right? Normally speaking, you have buy signals towards the bottom, you have sell signals at top, and there's the midpoints where it tells you, yeah, Bitcoin's gonna go upwards. But we just had two ups in a row. So I guess that's pretty bullish. I would say this is pretty bullish that Bitcoin has gone up about 91% in 51 days since the ETF approval. And if we have something similar happen after the halving event, well, then that means Bitcoin is going to be around 116,000 by May 10th, although some people think that we can get to that point much sooner, because still we have like 20 something days before the halving event, and anything can happen week to week. I mean, we could seriously see Bitcoin push to 75 or 80K by the end of this weekend. Well, I mean, like these days, really anything can happen. The order books are light, very light, and there's way more demand than volume, way more than demand than supply. So anything really can happen. And here's something else that is really, really bullish. And that is, well, usually after you have this consolidation period, and after the halving event, you have 500 days of up. Well, look at where we are, right? We're already ahead of the game, but the last few times, those 500 days made Bitcoin go up thousands of percents this time around. If we're following anything similar, and we don't even have to go down up thousands of percents, just a few hundred percents, that would push Bitcoin up to $350,000. That is insane, guys. That is insane. That's why we're in the game. That's why we never want to give up, especially now, because Bitcoin is the scarcest asset we have, the best hedge against inflation, and that is not going to change. So we're starting out strong today, guys. Stronger than yesterday. Yesterday, after I posted my video, we saw Bitcoin slide below 70,000, but right now we are holding 70,900. Is today the day? Are we going to see some good movement? I know one thing is for sure, Doge is seeing some great movement. It's up almost 20%. So what's up with that? So let's talk about Doge, and let's talk about Bitcoin. Is today the breakout day? So what's been happening? Well, what has happened since yesterday to today? Well, of course, more ETF news. Larry Fink himself can't believe how fast his ETF is growing. I mean, in this recent interview, he basically said he had no idea that ETFs in general, or Bitcoin Spot ETFs, were going to be this successful. Here's the amazing, staggering stat that the IBIT Spot Bitcoin ETF is the fastest growing ETF in history. Let that sink in for a little bit. Think about how many ETFs there are on the market, how long ETFs have been around, and the IBIT Spot Bitcoin ETF is the fastest growing ETF in history. Okay, that's how much demand there is. So if you thought that, yeah, whatever has happened so far in the last 2 months, if you thought that was like kind of like the end, think again. Just wait. Wait until Bitcoin forms a new high, another new high, a new high. Volume is going to be exploding on these ETFs, and it's going to be a perpetual cycle, whereas as Bitcoin goes higher in price, more volume comes into the ETF. That means they have to buy more Bitcoin, and then the higher the price goes, and it's just going to keep on circulating. Okay, so I've been making this point for a long time, and I don't think it's going to stop. It's just not, and it's unfortunate because, well, it's fortunate and unfortunate. It's fortunate short term because, well, all the Bitcoin is being bought from circulation, and that's why the price is going up. It's unfortunate long term because you see Grayscale, they had their 650,000 Bitcoin that they accrued for like a decade now, all going to BlackRock. Like it's basically an exact inverse relationship. And Grayscale continues to sell and sell and sell and sell and sell and sell. But the good news is this week so far, the demand has outpaced the selling. So you could see 3 days of green. That means good. That means we had a lot more flowing into the ETFs than outflowing, despite the fact that Grayscale sold 4,370 yesterday, which is a net minus 300 million. That's a lot. That's a lot. And it just doesn't, it's not stopping. It's not stopping, right? We had a new ETF come in, or we're going to have a new ETF from hashtag Let's Go come in. So that will be one more. But yesterday, you could see overall, we had a huge inflow day for BlackRock once again. BlackRock itself took in more than Grayscale sold. And yesterday, ARK had a huge day, 200 million plus day, right? So right now, even though Grayscale is still massively selling and basically just giving everything to BlackRock at this point, right? The market is eating it up. So that's fantastic. So far we have 3 consecutive green days. We're in the fourth day now. Can we see this continue today? It could be the reason why Bitcoin is stronger, still holding at 71,000 right now. All right. Now, lastly, there's a few things I want to talk about. Okay. Outside of Bitcoin, BlackRock and Fidelity, the big boys, they're working on huge things. Fidelity files for spot Ethereum ETF, but they're including staking. That's the new thing with all these Ethereum ETFs. Not only are they spot, but they're going to make sure that they actually stake the Ethereum that's in these ETFs and then take the staking rewards and putting them into the fund. That has never happened before. This is the first time in history if it gets approved, right? But I think Gary may not approve these because of it. This may actually decrease the chances of spot Ethereum ETFs because, according to Gary, staking is a security, and I don't think he's going to like this. But if Fidelity is doing it, and maybe BlackRock will follow soon, if they do it, it's probably going to happen, but it may take a little bit longer, right? So that's very unique and very different. And of course, BlackRock, they're coming out with the tokenized funds and they're adding hundreds of millions now very, very quickly. We know that tokenizing real world assets is a big thing, is a big new narrative, right? And I don't think this is going to change. I think this will continue forward and we're already seeing the results of that. A lot of treasuries and so forth have been tokenized already, like projects that are involved with tokenizing treasuries and bonds and so forth. They have been doing very well. So it's definitely going to be a big narrative going forward.